Have you ever thought of buying your very first home or property? Well, if you said yes, this video is for you. Here are 6 tips to consider when buying your first property. Welcome to my channel. This is your Real Talks with Casey, your real estate princess. Here we talk about real estate, life, career, business, and everything in between. And today specifically is a very special day because this is our very first episode about real estate. But first off, please do click like, comment, and subscribe. And click the notification bell so that you get notified in the future sa mga i-upload naming videos, both inspirational and educational. So now, let's go to the 6 steps that you need to consider before buying your very first property. First step that you might want to consider is determine your needs. So, alamin mo dapat yung needs mo. Where do you want to reside? Because real estate is hindi biro-biro. It's long-term investment. So, you have to know in the long run, where do you want to be located? Of course, it has to be centrally located to your church, to your parents' home, to the school of your future children, to the mall, etc., etc. These things that you have to consider so that you can be accessible, so that anytime you can go to these locations. Next one is actually part of your needs is to know whether or not you want to buy a lot or house or condominium. So you have to determine for yourself which one fits you best. So that actually depends on your status. So if you're single, you have the luxury of time to actually buy a pre-selling property so that you have more time to invest. You can actually flip it later on. And if you decide to upgrade, you can actually save up for more for your house in the future. And say, if, for example, you live in Manila, you can consider buying a condominium first and then later on upgrading into a house and lot in the future. Whether or not you decide to stay in Manila, at least you have that property already wherein you can bank on that as an investment that you can later on sell for a profit, of course, because of the real estate appreciation. Yes, indeed, guys, real estate appreciates over time. So it pays to invest now rather than wait for the future. I myself already am investing in real estate, and it's the best decision that I've ever had. I learned this from my parents. Maybe I can later on share it over the next few videos on how to go about investing. And next is actually, of course, part of your needs is to know the lot area or the floor area of the property that you will be buying and to be clear about how many bedrooms would you like to have. My second tip is to actually budget. I cannot discount the fact that you need to save, save, save. There are actually 3 rules under the budgeting. So first rule is the 5x multiplier rate. Why do I say this? So say for example, salary 100,000 pesos per month times 13 months, because we have 13 months pay here in the Philippines more or less, times 2.5x. 2.5 is actually the multiplier. This has been studied by financial experts over the past few years. That is actually equivalent to 3,250,000 pesos. And that means the 2.5x multiplier is the equivalent price or total contract price that you would like to consider in buying your first home. This is not the golden rule when it comes to investing, but this can be somehow a rule that can help you and guide you. Next is to prepare at least 20% to 40% of your down payment. I've actually encountered a few clients in the past, and they didn't prepare for the down payment. They thought everything was like may terms naman, ganyan. But if you would like to buy for a property, say for example, a property that was owned by an owner already before, so it's just in the secondary market already, it's not from a developer. You have to prepare for your down payment, guys, because more often than not, these property owners will not likely extend down payment terms. They would really expect down payment to be paid straight up, as in one-time payment. Kasi pag pre-selling, pwede pa hulugan siya over the next 12 months, some 6 months, some 18 months, some even 24 months or 36 months. But if somebody owns the property already, you have to prepare for that down payment. So say for example, in that 3,250,000 pesos example, the down payment 20% is 650,000. So you have to prepare for that. 30% of that is 975,000 and 40% of that is 1.3 million. So you have to at least save up for this amount ranging from 650 to 1.3 million in order for you to prepare. This will help you to already reserve that property and gain the right to later on loan it in the bank. So yes, that is the second tip under the second tip, 2.2. So 2.3 is 30 to 35% of your monthly income. Yes, that is the rule that is being used also by banks. So say for example, 100,000 pesos ulit yung monthly income mo. 30 to 35% of that monthly income goes to your budget for your housing loan or home loan or mortgage loan. So this is the rule or the percentage that you would most likely be comfortable to shell out for that real estate investment. Anything more than that, it's actually beyond your budget na, beyond your capacity, pero mahihirapan na tayo to shell out. So it's very important that you are comfortable with the amount that you are shelling out so that you will not experience later on not being able to pay the bank. Number 3 tip is to actually check the developer. You have to check due diligence ang tawag dito, guys. So, if developed na yung property, say for example, that certain subdivision has already been developed, it has already been completed, and it has already been turned over. So, i-check mo, is it well maintained? Nag-grass cut ba? Yung garbage disposal ba? Okay. Yung street lights, okay ba sila? Well-maintained ba overall yung property? And were the amenities delivered? Say for example, in their brochures, they promised a swimming pool. Pero wala naman palang swimming pool. Clubhouse sila. So you have to check on these. And next is the security. It's very important nowadays to have a secure environment. So you have to check on the security of the neighborhood. If the property is still on pre-selling, meaning hindi pa nata-turn over yung mismong subdivision and the mismong house and lot or lot that is being sold to you, you have to check for the COR and the license to sell. What is COR? This is the certificate of registration. And kakambal nito, guys, is the license to sell. License to sell is being issued by the HLURB or the Housing Land Use and Regulatory Board. So it is very important because this is a certification obtained by a property developer from HLURB because of the Presidential Decree 957 under Section 5. It declares that a owner or dealer to whom has been issued a registration certificate shall not, however, be authorized to sell any subdivision lot or condominium unit in the registered project unless he shall have first obtained a license to sell. So guys, it is very important that your developer has a license to sell the project within 2 weeks from the registration of the said project. So, license to sell. Bakit nga ba? Because it is a proof that the developer has a legitimate business. Ang hirap guys na i-sacrifice mo yung hard-earned money mo. You just want to buy that certain property and really given your efforts, lahat ng dugo, pawis mo, lahat, binigay mo dun sa property na yun. And this developer doesn't have any license to sell and COR. So, hindi ka protected pag wala license to sell ang developer. Take it from me, guys, because we have been in the business for 20 plus years, and it was not my first-hand experience, but it was the experience of my mom, rather, that she already encountered in her entire career. Some developers who do not issue license to sell, and we veer away from them because true enough, after some time you see that they do not develop, they do not actually deliver the promises that they promise to their clients. So we wouldn't want to end up with that. Number 4 is to obtain an approval for your bank financing. One common mistake that I see with the first-time home buyers is that they do not apply for pre-approval for bank financing. This has actually been practiced naman in the United States for the past few years or decades or so, to have yourself pre-approved first in the bank. So why not adapt it? One common mistake is actually finding your dream home, but then forgoing off that thought na how much will I be able to afford now in the monthly salary that they can accommodate. So it pays to talk to the bank. Say for example, you do your savings with that certain bank. It pays to actually apply your loan to that certain bank because they already have your history, your credit history, how you pay your credit cards, how you save up, how you spend. Take note guys, tinitingnan nila yung income and outflow. So really, you see it, and that certain bank would be able to help you better. You can also still compare bank interest rates from bank to bank. So of course, it's very wise for us to compare interest rates. Tingnan mo saan ka makakatipid. Tingnan mo rin yung bangko na you already have a contact, a relationship with. So also, actually licensed real estate brokers can help you also with this. The thing about going through a real estate broker is that you do not have any other charges. When you apply through a licensed broker, you course your application through them. At least you have that advantage of having not just one advisor, the bank itself, but you also have another advisor, a licensed real estate broker, to help you in the process in the loan application. And next is, of course, to prepare for your requirements. This is actually quite a long list, so it takes patience. I've undergone through this. You have to go through payslips, dapat may ITR, kompleto yung certificate of employment. If you are single, you have CENOMAR, certificate of no marriage, and if you're married, you have to have that marriage certificate, etc., etc. Maybe we'll be discussing all these requirements in the future in another vlog, but for the certain vlog, I'd like you, of course, to have that mindset already of preparing for these requirements, because the banks will really require you to complete every single one of them. And next is to think long term. You have to know and you have to build your history and track record. If say you have credit card, you have to pay your credit card religiously before the deadline, or sige, deadline. But you don't practice paying after the deadline. You have to always religiously pay on time. Okay, guys? And of course, build up your savings. I understand part of your savings goes to your, say for example, real estate fund. A part of your savings goes to your life insurance fund. A part of your savings goes to your emergency fund. So those kind of things. So budget it accordingly, that in a way you would be able to allot a certain amount into your bank that will help you later on build that fund to be able to pay for your bills in the future when you loan your real estate property. Number 5 is to take note of the other expenses. The seller, hindi mo na i-worry to because they will take care of, more often than not, of the capital gains tax and the commission or the broker's professional fee. So this is nothing to worry about. But you, as buyer, you have to consider of the other title transfer fees or the taxes that you would be paying to the government. And these are the title transfer fees, which includes documentary stamps tax, transfer tax, registration fee, notarial fees, legal fees, entry fees, etc., etc. And these amount you have to prepare, and that is around 7 to 8%. Some go 9%, some go 10%. It actually depends on your municipality or city and whether or not you would be processing it sa sarili mo or you would hire another person, an expert, to do it for you to save up for your time and efforts to do it. Number 6 is to talk to a licensed real estate broker. Say for example, may sakit ka. Saan ka ba pupunta? Sa doktor, di ba? And when you build your house, you don't build your house for yourself na ikaw mag-isa. Gagawin mo yun. You talk to the professionals, right? You talk to the civil engineer, you talk to the architect. And when you have, say for example, an issue with documents or business or relationships, whatnots, you talk to an attorney, a lawyer. So it also goes through to talking to your licensed real estate broker because they have the know-how. They will be able to do due diligence for you and they will be able to give you sound advice. And instead of saving up for that commission, you would not pay anyway. It's the developer or the person or the seller that is selling the property that will shelling out for the professional fees. So why discount the fact that a licensed practitioner would be able to help you out? In turn, you will save more. You will save more. So guys, those are my 6 tips and hopefully you have learned a thing or two. At maraming salamat. This has been Casey Reyes, your real estate princess, and this is Real Talk. See you in our next episode. Please do click like, comment, subscribe. See you next time.